Liverpool transfer drama is heating up. One January priority is now crystal clear, and it's not Marc Guehi. Man City think they've won the £30 million battle. A centre-back confirms his Liverpool move, and Szoboszlai sends a bold message about ambition. Plus, the huge Klopp clause Arne doesn't have. Subscribe now for the latest Liverpool transfer news. Liverpool clearly need one January transfer priority, and it isn't Marc Guehi. Liverpool are again being linked with Crystal Palace centre-back Marc Guehi, but if they have to strengthen one position this month, it should be elsewhere. It seems a somewhat strange claim to make about a club that splashed out a record £450 million on new players during the summer, but even the most cursory observer of Liverpool's season would suggest Arne simply doesn't have enough senior options. The inevitable consequence of the relentless schedule has been the raft of injuries that, during the past 6 weeks, has exposed the Reds being short in a number of key areas in their squad. Of course, they are far from the only leading Premier League team for whom resources have been thin on the ground of late. Manchester City are grappling with an injury crisis at centre-back, while neighbours United have had to place an increasing number of untried academy prospects on the bench. Liverpool's, though, is considered all the more surprising given their vast outlay in the summer window, which does somewhat overlook the fact Arsenal's net spend was greater than that of the Reds. And in terms of sheer numbers, Slot has been right in his continued insistence. Liverpool's splurge was born out of a desire to replace players rather than simply strengthen. Liverpool brought in 7 major signings, along with a third-choice goalkeeper and 2 players primarily for the academy. Going out were 8 players, 2 of whom admittedly had been loaned out the previous season, with the Reds also having to contend with the tragic death of Diogo Jota. That a number of the new arrivals, Jeremy Frimpong, Alexander Isak, and Giovanni Leone, have been injured for large periods, has given the impression, however, Liverpool have weakened a Premier League winning squad rather than strengthened it. Certainly, the combination of a failure to get a deal with Marc Guehi over the line and the season-ending injury to Leone a few weeks later have left the Reds with concerns in a centre-back area where Joe Gomez's fitness has been intermittent and Ibrahima Konate is still recovering from a major dip in form. Konate's situation has been further complicated by the ongoing speculation over his future, with talks over a new Anfield deal having reached an impasse, meaning at present the player is due to depart for nothing when his contract expires at the end of the campaign. Small wonder then the calls for Liverpool to bring forward to the January window their expected attempt in the summer to finally snare Guehi, who will by then be a free agent. They have also intensified given City are considering a January bid due to their own defensive issues and Palace boss Oliver Glasner having admitted the England international could leave for the right price this month. There is, though, an argument that if Liverpool are to strengthen their options before the February 2nd deadline, it should be in another area of the pitch, the attack. Even when Isak was available and Salah wasn't on Africa Cup of Nations duty, Liverpool appeared short of an option across the forward line, with 17-year-old Rion Gamoha having his first-team exposure limited. While Federico Chiesa is popular among the fan base and was early in the season a threat from the bench, the reality is the Italian has only ever started 2 Premier League games in approaching 18 months under Slot. The head coach clearly doesn't see the 28-year-old as an answer to his team's problems in breaking down packed defenses. Indeed, the immediate shape of the squad could be impacted by Chiesa in the coming weeks, the forward wanted by Juventus on loan, having previously expressed a desire to make Italy's World Cup squad should they qualify, which will only come from greater minutes. But it's unlikely Liverpool will sanction any move unless they have a replacement, regardless of Salah being expected to continue at Anfield for the remainder of the season. While all slightly different profiles, Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, and Takumi Minamino were all signed during a January window to bolster the attack. Fenway Sports Group rubber-stamping the moves of Gakpo and Diaz in particular to stave off interest from elsewhere, having originally intended a summer move. Liverpool's recruitment team will have already long been planning for future transfer windows, but if they are compelled to make one move over the next few weeks, it should be to provide extra firepower for Slot. Jurgen Klopp's exceptional Liverpool clause that Arne doesn't have in his contract. Former Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp had a unique clause in his contract with the Reds that ensured the club would help him oversee his exit. Klopp left Liverpool in the summer of 2024 after initially announcing his departure in January of that year following 9 successful years at Anfield. Klopp joined Liverpool in October 2015, but then put pen to paper on a new deal in December 2019. In his contract extension, a clause was inserted which would see the club help the German move back to his home country once his time at Anfield had come to an end. Essentially, the clause ensured Klopp's move to Germany would be overseen by Liverpool to verify it was a smooth transition. However, it is unlikely the benefit has been attached to Arne Slot's contract. Slot signed a 3-year deal when he joined the club in 2024. There was an expectation that the Dutchman would clinch a lucrative extension after leading Liverpool to the Premier League title in his first season, and perhaps such a clause would have been inserted then. However, the Reds' stuttering title defense has not only seen any talk of Slot's extension put on hold, but even cast doubt over the Dutchman's Liverpool future. Klopp told SWR Sport in July 2020 that he had plans to move back to Germany when he left Liverpool, comments that followed his 2019 contract where the clause was reportedly included. His remarks came to fruition as Klopp took up a job as Red Bull's head of global soccer after leaving Anfield. "Definitely to live after my career, most likely even to mine's," Klopp said of his plans for leaving Liverpool. Klopp's rare contract clause is not entirely unheard of, as clubs can often help managers or players settle into their new surroundings upon signing. Assisting a manager's exit is a little unusual, but shows the bond and respect shared between Klopp and Liverpool. Such is that bond between Liverpool as a city and as a club, with the iconic German that talk of Klopp making a sensational return at the expense of Slot has rumbled on during the latter's current struggles. Klopp himself has already addressed talk over a move back to Liverpool. He suggested that he would never manage another team in England, but did not totally rule out a return to Anfield. "I said I will never coach another team, a different team in England," he said on the Diary of a CEO podcast. "So that means if then it's Liverpool, yeah, theoretically it's possible." Meanwhile, Slot, when asked for an update on his own contract situation in October last year, remained evasive. "This is the last question that I was expecting," he said. "My focus is completely on getting Liverpool back to winning ways. That is my first answer, and my second answer, contract talks, if they are even there, we never speak about this here." Despite talk of Klopp coming back to Liverpool in their time of need, any move would be dependent on the German being released from his current role. Oliver Minzlaff, managing director of Red Bull, suggested that Klopp remains happy in his current job. "Jurgen Klopp feels completely at home with us and has already learned a tremendous amount here," he told German outlet Welt. "There's no release clause in his contract, and he's clearly committed to us. He has no intention of looking for anything else. If something were to come along, we'd have to deal with it, but there are absolutely no indications of that."
Dominik Szoboszlai shows his true colors as Liverpool ambition made clear. The Liverpool star has been the club's standout performer this season, but in a telling interview, Szoboszlai has explained why he has not enjoyed the campaign. Liverpool midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai has admitted that despite putting in what he feels are the best performances of his career this season, he has been unable to enjoy the campaign due to the team's performances. Szoboszlai has been an almost constant presence in Arne Slot's side this campaign, missing just one Premier League match through suspension and featuring in all 6 Champions League games. Given his versatility, the former RB Leipzig man has been deployed in several positions and has also excelled at right back and as a winger. He is widely considered to be the Reds' star performer in what has been an underwhelming campaign. The champions currently sit 4th in the table and could be 17 points behind leaders Arsenal after Thursday's encounter at the Emirates. That has overshadowed Szoboszlai's coming-of-age campaign. "I feel like I am at my peak in my career, I would say. Working hard day by day, game by game, just trying to help the team, give my best, and enjoy playing football," the 25-year-old told Liverpool's website ahead of the Arsenal encounter. Asked if it is this the best period of his Liverpool career, Szoboszlai responded, "Well, no, because the team is not doing as well as I would like it to. I cannot enjoy it as much as I would enjoy it if we would also win the games and be in the same position like, for example, last season. But that's the aim. That's what we are aiming for."
Szoboszlai's emergence as a key voice in the Liverpool dressing room comes as several experienced players are nearing the end of their Anfield careers. Andy Robertson, Mohamed Salah, and Alisson could move on next summer, while Virgil van Dijk's contract expires in 2027. The Hungary captain is even being touted as Liverpool's potential next skipper, a suggestion helped by Steven Gerrard recently saying he can see similarities between himself and the Reds' current number 8. I can imagine it, yes. I would love to. Of course, it's an honor to be a captain of Liverpool, said Szoboszlai. I think everybody would love to be. Yeah, of course, if there is a time, I would love to, yeah. I always try to show it on the pitch with my performances, and also off the pitch, I try to help everybody, try to be there. I'm speaking on the pitch, I would say. In another telling insight into Szoboszlai's personality, the midfielder said he owes it to Hungary a World Cup qualification at some point in his career, after the disappointment of losing to the Republic of Ireland in November, which denied the Liverpool star and his international teammates a playoff spot. Being in the next World Cup with Hungary after we don't talk about it, it was very tough, the defeat to Ireland. I never felt more sad. I wasn't angry, I was sad. More sad than this, never ever before. I owe them a World Cup. Man City believe they've beaten Liverpool to £30 million Marc Guehi transfer. Pep Guardiola will lure Marc Guehi to the Etihad in the hope it will help revive Manchester City's flagging title chances amid a defensive injury crisis. Manchester City believe they have beaten bitter rivals Liverpool to the signing of England star Marc Guehi. Both clubs have been in extensive talks with the Crystal Palace defender, with Liverpool coming close to landing Guehi last summer. But a fee could not be agreed, allowing City boss Pep Guardiola to take advantage in his own attempts to sign the 25-year-old. And City are confident of securing a £30 million deal in the coming days. Guardiola has become desperate to strengthen his defense following injuries to Josko Gvardiol and Ruben Dias in recent games, and the Spaniard's increasing need to bring in reinforcements saw him urge Etihad bosses to agree a fee with their Palace counterparts. Guehi will be out of contract in June, and some of Europe's biggest clubs have been lining up to sign him on a free transfer in the summer. These include Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Inter Milan, with Guehi able to negotiate a pre-contract agreement with an overseas club this month. But City appear to have stolen a march on all of them by offering Palace a price the London club cannot turn down. For his part, Guehi is keen to play for Guardiola. And Guehi's arrival at City could spell bad news for his England teammate John Stones. Stones is out of contract at the end of this season and was hoping to sign an extension with Guardiola's men, but no agreement has been reached, with Guardiola having reservations about the centre-back's fitness problems. Stones, who will be 32 in May, has been restricted to just 7 league appearances this season due to injuries, and he knows he could fall down the pecking order should City secure the services of his Three Lions teammate. Guehi helped Palace finish 12th in the Premier League last season and win the FA Cup to secure a place in Europe. Centre-back confirms he is joining Liverpool with immediate effect. It has become apparent that Richard Hughes needs to fortify the defensive backline at Anfield. Right now, Arne has just 3 senior centre-back options available. Giovanni Leone's injury has led to a shortage of options, with Joe Gomez also constantly getting little niggles. Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk have therefore had to play a lot of the games so far this season, and that's been a burden on them. At the same time, because of Liverpool's lack of depth, Slot has had to keep Welity Lucky and Amara Nallo around from the academy, even though they are probably ready to go out on loan. But this could be changing in the coming weeks. January is an opportunity for Liverpool to address some of these issues, and it looks like the club is working on it. Mor Talla Nye is set to join from Amity FC in Senegal, and another young centre-back has now also confirmed he is joining the club. Noah Adekoya took to his Instagram account to share pictures of him posing with a Liverpool shirt and putting pen to paper on a deal in a confirmation that he is joining the club. The 19-year-old joins from Burnley and is believed to be extremely highly rated. He has participated in Nigeria's U20 international squad, and it's not the first time he spent time at Liverpool either. Adekoya had a trial at the club when he was younger and was unable to join due to injury. He ended up going to Burnley instead, where he captained the club's U18 side, and now, in a serendipitous way, he is back at Liverpool. In terms of the expectation for him, Adekoya is probably joining to allow Lucky and Nalo to leave on loan. Similar to Nat Phillips, who joined around the same age from Bolton, he is very much a player who will be starting for the U21s. But like Phillips, who benefited from Liverpool's lack of depth, there will be first-team opportunities for him. We've seen Lucky sit on the bench numerous times already this season. Adekoya could benefit from similar opportunities. So this is a transfer to keep an eye on. He is very much one for the future. Being only 19 years old means he is still a relative baby when it comes to centre-back years. At Liverpool, he will be given the space and the room to grow and develop, while allowing Nalo and Lucky to push on in their development as well.